Good evening, I'm Thuy Vu. Welcome to This Week in Northern California. Joining me for insights and analysis of news from the week are Jill Tucker, San Francisco Chronicle education reporter; David Baker, energy reporter, also with the Chronicle; Josh Richmond, Bay Area News Group politics reporter; and Carolyn Said, San Francisco Chronicle business reporter. Richmond may become the first city to use eminent domain to combat the foreclosure problem. The city is offering to buy underwater mortgages at a discount and help its residents refinance their homes. Now, if lenders refuse, the city is threatening to seize the mortgages anyway. Already, bondholders have filed a lawsuit to block this move, while investors on Wall Street are watching developments closely. Carolyn, how would this plan work, and why is there such strong opposition to it?
Well, as you said, Richmond is threatening to become the first city in the country to exercise its power of eminent domain in this very radical plan. How it would work is Richmond and the private partner, a for-profit investment firm that it's partnered with, would...
That's Mortgage Resolution Partners?
Mortgage Resolution Partners. Suppose I owed $500,000 on my mortgage, but my house was worth just $300,000. If Richmond exercised its power of eminent domain, it would buy that house forcibly, not the house, the mortgage, from the mortgage holder for a discount to the $300,000, say for like $240,000, a 20% discount. Then it would turn around and help me, the homeowner, refinance it for maybe $285,000. It would have $45,000 left that would get split between Richmond itself, Mortgage Resolution Partners, and investors in this plan. So it's pretty obvious why banks hate the idea. They say that it totally abrogates property rights and the rule of law. They say that if this goes through, it opens a Pandora's box where when a bank makes a loan, they have no assurance that they would ever get paid back. I mean, a mortgage is a secured loan. The house is collateral. But in this case, suddenly, if a government entity could just walk in and seize the mortgage at whatever price it considers fair market value, the banks say, why would they make loans?
Well, let's talk about the concept of eminent domain, because that allows governments to seize private property for public projects. And it's usually used for, things like commercial developments or highway projects. In this case, we're talking about individual homes, very unprecedented, as you say. Is there good legal standing for this?
Well, that is what this court case is going to determine. So Richmond and its partners, their argument is that the public good here is to prevent blight, because foreclosures cause blight. They drag down property values for entire neighborhoods, entire community. Richmond is, a working class, lower income community that has not really benefited from the recent run-up in real estate values. Values there fell so low that many, many properties there, almost half of the homes with mortgages, are still underwater. So Richmond's argument is that this is the public good. But that is an unprecedented new argument, and that is what the court will have to determine.
Carolyn, I have to think that this is, it's a perfect test case, right? Everybody across the country is going to be looking to see if this is a legal option for the cities, and whether, and in a city like Oakland where they do have so many foreclosures, it's the perfect test case. But Richmond City Council, when they voted for this 6-0, had nothing to lose, right? I mean, they're not paying for any legal costs.
Not a penny is coming out of Richmond's pocket. The private for-profit investment firm Mortgage Resolution Partners has said that they will handle all the legal costs, and I would think they could be considerable. I mean, banks have all the money in the world. I would think banks would take this all the way to the Supreme Court.
This also seems like a very philosophical case in that it's unlikely to have any impact on people who are struggling to keep their homes now, because this is going to be tied up in court for years, isn't it? I mean, how could it not be almost a moot point while it crawls ahead through the judicial system?
That is a reasonable point, yes.
But at the same time, I mean, if you do establish some kind of precedent here, there's nothing to say that we won't have another bust at some point down the road. And so, maybe they're taking the long run on this one, even if they're genuinely trying to help their residents right now. But they may also be thinking down the road to, well, what happens the next time we have a bubble burst?
And there are plenty of other cities around the country and in California that are watching this very closely and are, are queued up and thinking about it for their cities. I don't know if Oakland per se, but I know Vallejo, Berkeley, several cities in Southern California, East Las Vegas are all cities that are, closely considering it.
But you can also see the critic side of it a little bit, in the sense that these people took on this investment, and granted it crashed, and many people in a lot of places were affected by that. But it does raise the question of, you know, if it's an easy way out for people who get over their heads in the loan that they got, or, you know, that they're basically coming out from this without taking any responsibility for the decisions that they made early on. And I think it does raise questions about what are the repercussions of that for the city of Richmond. Are people going to want to invest in that if they sort of get a free ride?
Right. Well, that's exactly what the banks say. They say that if Richmond or any other government entity succeeds in this, why would they write mortgage? Either they wouldn't write mortgages there, or mortgages there would be a lot more expensive. And in fact, the Federal Housing Finance Agency this week said that it might curtail government backing in regions that did this, which would kill the mortgage market in those regions. I mean, it would make it impossible to buy a home with a mortgage.
And just real quickly, how many homes are we talking about? Hundreds?
Well, so far Richmond has sent letters about 644 homes, but the actual number of homes in the city that are underwater is several thousand. Many of those homes are backed by Fannie and Freddie. They're government-backed loans that Richmond would not go after. It's only going after loans that are held in private label mortgage-backed securities, which is a small subset of all loans.
Okay. Well, Carolyn, thank you. Certainly an interesting and novel and controversial concept that will be closely watched.